What up? What up? What up? Morning. Happy Saturday. How you feeling today, Bubba?
We are ready to roll. I feel good, man. A little bummed. My high school last night, second round of the state playoffs, they're hosting Monticello. They have a running back that's got offers from App State.
I see
We were up 21-7 in the second quarter. Blew the lead, ended up losing 34-29, something like that. 34, 38, 33.
Yeah. Well, Shane
Oh, it was bad. I was watching that and I was just like, what in the world happened? And I was talking to my dad the whole time. I'm like, I don't know. Because last week, I told you last week, they won 64-14. Like the biggest playoff win I've ever seen in my high school's history. And I asked my dad, because they scored like 3 straight drives yet last night. And I text my dad, I was like, how are they doing this? They don't have like any eye-popping talent. I don't understand. This is madness. But hey, other than that, it's college football Saturday. We're ready to go.
It is a college football Cupcake Saturday, week 13, which, based on a few teams in the SEC and a few teams in the Big Ten, this is like Cupcake week, which is weird. This is, as a University of Oklahoma fan, it's only my second year in the SEC. Cupcake week. We had all that at the beginning of the year. Whoa, what just happened?
I didn't mean to click that.
Oh, our thing is over there. It's not right. Yeah, if you're watching, okay, there we go.
There we go.
If you're watching this over in short form, sorry, that was on me. Yeah, in the Big 12 Cupcake week stops at week 4. In the SEC, you get a random Cupcake week in November. So this is
fun. Yeah, the weekend before rivalry week pays off, in the long run.
It does. Also, we got some Lane Kiffin drama that we're going to talk about. Oklahoma unveiled some new stadium upgrades, brand new segment that I'm excited to get into once I can find. Yeah, I had a great little thumbnail for it and everything. Left it on the other computer over there. So, just I don't know what was going on this morning. But yeah, we got a brand new segment that we're going to do today as well. But before we get into it, don't forget, we are powered by Better. If you haven't yet, go download the Better app. That's BETR. Download Better, the first real microplay app. So instead of waiting for the whole game, you can lock in a play on every drive, every pitch, every moment. It's super simple. No messy menus. Just swipe. Make your pick, and you're in. Live it, play it better. Download Better right now and use code WASHED. Download Better. Use code WASHED. WASHED. And you will get a special promo discount, and you help support the show, both of which are good things, and we appreciate you very, very much. Okay, let's get into it. First thing this morning, it is Cupcake week. If you're saying to yourself, what is Cupcake week? Well, let's give you some of the amazing games that are happening around college football. The mighty Samford Bulldogs, not to be confused with the Stanford.
If it was Stanford, it would probably still be the same thing, which is shocking. I thought Andrew Luck would have that team ready to go.
The mighty Samford Bulldogs, making sure that they got plenty of money for next year's athletic budget by going on the road to Texas A&M.
There's a school that can pay you. It's probably Texas A&M.
Hey, by the way, on this show, we don't hate on that because we both played at schools that could use every dime they could get for athletics.
Oh, dude, I don't know if I've told you about this. My college, our football field, they've been doing renovations. They got halfway through, ran out of money, just stopped. The press box is a freaking train, like one of those box cars on a train.
Oh, really?
Like I can't remember what they're called. And there's like porta potties out there. The concession stands are just plastic tables with ice chests. I'm like, this is embarrassing.
So we don't hate. Do what you got to do, athletic departments, to make it happen for the students. I'm fine with it. The mighty Charlotte is going on the road to Georgia. That might be that. They might have the worst Saturday of anybody in college football. It's like, hey guys, we got to go
Yeah.
to Georgia.
It depends on how you look at it, I guess. That's like a once in a lifetime.
Yeah, that's true.
The old 49ers making a trip to. Yeah, you get to have a conversation, be like, yeah, I played between the hedges once.
Yeah.
Or twice. I don't know how many times Georgia's got these guys scheduled.
Could be 3. Eastern Illinois playing Alabama. That's not a great game in any way, shape, or form. Michigan playing Maryland. That shouldn't be a tough game, but weirder things have happened.
Maryland's dope. They've got some talent.
And the worst uniforms in college football.
You think so?
Oh yeah, by like a long shot.
I think it's because the Maryland state flag is so ugly, and the Terrapins are just constantly trying to integrate their state flag into their uniforms. It's like, no, don't do that.
But what's so funny though is they figured it out so much better with basketball, but then football it doesn't, which is not uncommon. Like Arizona, the Wildcats, basketball uniforms are awesome. Football, you're like, okay. Kentucky Vanderbilt, that is not a cupcake game. I want all the craziness we can get. So go Kentucky. I think that's probably the last cupcake game of the day. Although Arizona State, Colorado, for Arizona State, that's probably a cupcake game.
Yeah. Also got Mercer at Auburn.
Oh, great.
Mercer is 9 and Auburn might be in for a game today, I feel like, against a Mercer team. It's Central Carolina at South Carolina. Western Kentucky at LSU. I actually wouldn't put it past Western Kentucky to maybe win that one. As we'll talk about here shortly, LSU's got some other things that they're thinking about right now. So, yeah, it's actually crazy, I mean, and obviously, like, Ohio State's got Rutgers at home. Like, that's a conference. It's a conference. Cupcake conference games, I think, are different than cupcake out of conference games because it's the weekend before Thanksgiving, and you can't do anything about how bad your conference opponents are. Yeah, and there are cupcake conference opponents in the SEC. It was weird.
Yeah, like if you're looking at your game and you're like at the beginning of the year, you're like, this game could be pretty good. And then by the time you get there, you're like, this team is terrible. That's not your fault. Like nobody's upset with you about it.
Right.
That's just the way the cookie crumbled. That's not your fault. But when you like, hey guys, we're going to schedule, Alabama A&T. Okay. Well, and you put it right before rivalry week. I think certain things about you. Like, I don't mean it to sound bad. I look at you as kind of a little weak.
Yeah, your tune-up game should happen week 3.
Yeah, by week 4, you should be into, like, we're ready to go. Shouldn't be like, hey, we need. And they used to call it the Nick Saban week 13, or I think before schedule expansion, that would have been week 12, but. I don't remember, but that was what we called it when Oklahoma was in the Big 12. I don't know if that's true that like Nick Saban started that, but it would make sense if like right before Alabama Auburn, he's like, "Hey,
let's take a week off. We'll play. We're gonna take a week off."
Yeah, I mean that would kind of track. But if you're in the chat this morning, appreciate you. Thanks so much for showing up. Love you. Heisman. What is this about? Heisman separation incoming. Mendoza sitting on couch and crap game next week. Saying playing and the game next week. Saying that leader. Well, I hate to break it to you. Julian Sand wins the Heisman. I will call it one of the worst Heisman years of all time.
If any quarterback wins the Heisman this year, it will be that. Even if it's Marcel Reed, it's just not a good quarterback year.
But look at some of these numbers compared to some Heisman number years for quarterbacks. These guys aren't even close.
Like 1,000 yards off at this point.
Yeah, some guys are 20 touchdowns short of what guys put up touchdown wise.
And it's crazy. And you look at the running backs too, like Ahmad Hardy is the rushing leader in the clubhouse right now. He's only got 1,300 yards and like 14 touchdowns.
But
it's like not impressive.
We asked for this though because the offense has dominated college football the last decade, and everybody was like, "When is defense going to catch up?" Well, welcome to when defense caught up.
Google Jacob Rodriguez and tell us who you think should win the Heisman Trophy award this year.
I mean, you're watching some of the best defense we've watched in college football in a long time. Like
100%. And I am like, I'm wearing a Jeremiah Smith shirt. Like, I am wearing a shirt with the best college football on it. He has not had a Heisman-worthy season. I think those two things can go hand in hand.
Ohio State and Oklahoma can legitimately shut teams down in ways that is awkward.
Yeah.
Like,
you know who else? Texas Tech.
Tech can, yeah. So it'll work its way back around. Offenses will be back. Just give it a couple of years. The new transfer portal, only having one transfer portal window, will help that quite a bit. That will slow down.
Yep.
I fixed this dang graphic on that computer, and then when I go into the thing, it's not showing up on my recents, and that's really annoying me right now. This is the most simple thing in the entire world. I'm so angry right now. That's why I should have just. It's not like I don't have airdrop capability. All right, let's see here. Let's run through some the games that we're going to be breaking down this morning before we get into all this Lane Kiffin drama. All right, first game up. Early game. God dang it. I haven't had an 11 a.m. kickoff in a while. Number 22,
hey, welcome back, baby.
It's enough 11 a.m. kickoffs to choke somebody back in the day. Number 22, Missouri at number 8, Oklahoma. Oklahoma probably had the best road win of the. I say that Brent Venables has had back-to-back some of the best road wins of his tenure, going into Knoxville, then going into Tuscaloosa, and winning both of those games. Massive
that win in
game.
Tuscaloosa especially.
Yeah, and I think if you're Missouri, here's what's frustrating. The Brent Venables defense this year has kind of been just a sit and wait for your moment type of thing. Like, they're giving up a little bit of yards here and there.
Right.
But you got to have a quarterback that can get the ball out really fast. And last week he could, so he put up some decent yards. But just what Brent was able to do from a defensive perspective in the scheme category, I was watching AJ McCarron break down the interception, and he was like, "This is genius. This is NFL level stuff that they're doing, and college quarterbacks just have no chance."
No.
Like, when you can mix it up the way that they can, and disguise it and fake and then know where the ball's going to be, that, it's tough on a college quarterback, and it looked really tough on a college quarterback last week. So, but I say all that, Missouri, they got I will say this is the tale of the two fieriest guys in college football. Both of these guys look like they're going to have an aneurysm on the sidelines.
Yeah, I agree with that for sure. I think Mizzou has been interesting to watch this season because I think they had some really high expectations going into the year, and then their starting quarterback got hurt.
Yep.
And it kind of decided what they had to do at quarterback pretty early on. And I think that, the kid that they've got starting right now, I think, is a true freshman. And he's grown up a lot, like, in front of our faces, and then you've got also, you've also got, like, I would say that, like, Drinkowitz is a good head coach. I don't think he's a great head coach. He's in a tough spot. Mizzou is, I don't know. I don't think Mizzou's a top 25 team, but alas, they have a top 25 ranking, whatever. Do whatever you want with that. But, yeah, I think this is going to be a fun football game, but I do think, like you were saying, like, Oklahoma's defense, again, we saw what they did against true freshman Bryce Underwood. We saw what they did against, a quarterback like Joey Aguilar. We've seen what they did against Ty Simpson. So I think it's going to be, more of the same, where they are going to make life very difficult for another very young quarterback.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We'll pick it here in a minute, but I have a feeling what's going to happen today. Kentucky at number 14, Vanderbilt. Now, first of all, if you're like, why are we talking about some of these games? This is Cupcake week, so sometimes you got to talk about some football.
Sometimes,
games.
Yeah.
Your chances, your pickings are slim. Week 13. Kentucky at number 14, Vanderbilt. Kentucky has been poised all year for that.
We've been
one Mark Stoops, like, I'm going to get fired. No, I'm not. Win.
We've been waiting for it too.
They almost pulled it off against Texas.
Yeah, there's been a good probably 4 weeks where here at the Waterboys, we've been like, hey, Kentucky might do it this week. They haven't done it yet. And they're running out of weeks to do it. So, Steve, do whatever voodoo magic you got to do while you're on the road right now, just to make sure that your Wildcats take care of business.
Yeah, I mean, they, like we just said, we have been waiting on is this it? Is this the win? And Vanderbilt is, you can beat them if you put the right thing together. As well as Kentucky played Texas, and it took Texas a lot at home to beat Vanderbilt. That game could get really weird and fun.
Yeah.
So that could be one that everybody's like, you're texting a buddy like, dude, turn on Kentucky Vanderbilt. This is wild. They're 60-62. Like, it could be that. Like, it could be wild and nutty. So
or it could be the exact opposite, like the Florida State NC State game last night.
Yeah,
where Florida State muffed back-to-back punts.
It's so bad.
Did you see the first one bounced off the dude's helmet?
Yeah.
First of all, worst punt I've seen in college football this season. I don't think it made it past the first down marker.
Yeah, it was like a Blue Mountain State saying.
Second off, it hits the guy square on the helmet, rolls all the way back to the line of scrimmage, and the punter recovers it. Can't make this up.
It was one of the worst things I've seen.
And that team beat Alabama handily. What is going on in college football?
None of it. Nothing makes sense, and the points don't matter. This is the big game for today. No matter what anybody says, this is the biggest game of the day.
I'm excited for this football game.
One of these teams is probably this is a real college football playoff elimination game. One of these teams is not just going to be in the college football playoff. They're going to get a really favorable draw in the college football playoff because USC is peaking at the exact right time, and Oregon is just a little not as good as they were last year, but not by like a lot.
That's a good way to put it.
They're just like a little bit not as good as they were last year.
Yeah, that's a really good way to put it.
And USC's peaking really late. Quarterback play got better as the year went on. Defense plays a lot better. Lincoln is his name for whatever reason this week completely stopped when it came to the coaching carousel talk. So that I'm going to assume that means probably he's told some people no. So this is the biggest game of the day. One of these teams is going to make a college football playoff. One of these teams is probably going to find themselves on the outside looking in. Upset alert game of the day. Arkansas at number 17, Texas. Texas has lost games this year. I would love, as an Oklahoma fan and a proud member of Hog Nation, because of my grandfather, nothing would make these two guys on this podcast or on this show more happy than for the Hogs to be the nail in the coffin of Texas's horrible season.
And if it's not this week, it'll be next week. Texas isn't making it in. All of the conversation that everybody's been having about can a 3-loss Texas team make it into the college football playoff? I mean, one of their losses was to the undefeated number 1 team in the country. No, because they're still not going to have only 3 losses by the time the season is over.
No, I think A&M's going to kick the living dog crap out of them.
And there's a chance that they could already be looking into that. I talk about this all the time when I'm talking, NFL football. I don't believe in trap games in the NFL because there's only 32 teams and they're all pros.
Yeah, everybody's in the NFL.
Yeah. So. College football, on the other hand, trap games happen left and right. And you've got this game against a team that is on an interim head coach. I don't think Arkansas hasn't won a conference game this season, I'm pretty sure. I think they're like 0-7 against conference opponents. You probably don't respect the Hogs at all, which is crazy because you should, because they have one of the best offenses in the SEC. They took Tennessee to the wire. They took Auburn to the wire. I can't remember who they played some really close games this year. Yep. And if you take your foot off the gas even for a second, or if Arch Manning goes out there and has one of his stellar performances.
First half UTSA, first 3.5 quarters at Kentucky.
It's gonna be. Yeah. You could be in a bad spot, and I would think that Steve Sarkisian has got ways to get them up for this. Treat it like a rivalry game, all this kind of stuff. But it's a different era of college football. These guys aren't really at Texas because they love Texas. They're at Texas because they got a bag, and I think that could be said for a lot of, the schools around the country. Yeah. Like, it's a different era. So I don't know if treating this like it's a old school rivalry game is going to be enough. But Texas, they better come correct. Like, they better be ready when they step foot in. Is that game in Fayetteville?
I think it's at Texas.
Oh, they are at Texas. So, I mean, that helps. You're at they're okay, Royal. It's a good thing that's a home game for the Longhorns, because if you're playing this game in Arkansas, eesh,
that game,
that would be bad news. That would be big time upset.
100%.
They're only 9.5 point favorites, by the way.
Yeah,
Vegas is thinking something.
You're at home against a team that doesn't have a conference win. You ought to be a lot more than that.
2-8. Yikes.
Who is it that did Dabo? We could talk about it. Did Dabo Swinney really interview for that job?
I have no idea. I did see that. I don't know what's true on social media anymore and what's false. If that's the case, I'm not watching a Razorback game all season next year.
It will not. I will not be. Hopefully they come. I don't know if they come to a basketball. That'll be what I'll happen. Then next year, I'll be go Hog basketball. I will not be watching any football.
Somebody compared it to the men's basketball team hiring Calipari.
No, not the same.
I was like, Dabo and Calipari are not in the same. Like, they are very different levels of head coach.
Very different. Number 20, Tennessee at Florida. This game could get weird. You're in the swamp. Late game, 6:30 Central kick, 7:30 Eastern. Tennessee should go in there and handle business, but this is one Florida's got nothing to play for. Nothing. No.
And they have a fantastic defense.
Yes, and they got a bunch of dudes that are either trying to show out for the new coaches coming in or trying to get some really good film put together for the next place they're going to transfer, and they're playing with a chip on their shoulder. Tennessee, on the other hand, has had an up-and-down season, very weird. Great offensively, as they always are. Defense has been suspect. This game could just be weird. I'm not saying that I'm going to, here in a couple, a little bit, we're going to pick games. I'm not saying that I'm going to pick Florida to beat Tennessee. I'm just saying it's a weird. The swamp at night is a weird place.
That's true. And so Florida is only a 3.5 point underdog in this.
Yeah.
Like, that is a shockingly close spread. For a game like this.
For a Tennessee team that can score like that, you're saying, hey, this defense might be good enough to keep this thing close going in late, and then who knows? So, yeah, that game's going to be really, really weird. Let's see here. We're going to talk some Lane Kiffin this morning. Even while prepping for this show last night, things got weird with Lane Kiffin. I don't know I don't know what is going on in college football. I don't know what is happening, but things have gotten weirder with Lane Kiffin in the last 12 hours.
Yeah.
Apparently, Lane Kiffin has to have some sort of answer for Ole Miss after on Sunday, a week from tomorrow. He has to have an answer for the Ole Miss Rebels on if he is going to stay at Ole Miss or if he is going somewhere. I have never, in all of my years of watching college football, covering college football, I have never heard a team give a coach an ultimatum who's about to play in the college football playoff.
Yeah. And I mean that the report, I forget who it came from. Ross Dellinger, is that how you pronounce that reporter's last name? Drops a bombshell last night talking about the leaked report of the offer that LSU is prepared to give their next head coach. $90 million, $25 million annually to spend on the roster.
Which the $25 million annually, that's what I think. If you're Lane, that's what I think this is coming down to. On are you going to change? It's not the money, because let's be honest, anything past $80 million 5-year, you're not making any. Once you get past that much, like anything over 80 million, it's just a number at that point. Like it doesn't change the way you live. It doesn't change your lifestyle. That's not it. But if you said LSU says we're going to commit $25 million a year to the roster. Now, I'm sure that's a split between some sort of rev share, NIL, however you want to. That is a lot of money to spend on a roster per year.
I think that's a lot of money right now. But I think 2027, that's probably number 15.
Like that's what every top 25 team's at least spending.
Absolutely. And I think we're going to see, by, 2 years from now, as we enter into the era of revenue sharing plus NIL, we're going to see $40 million rosters, $50 million rosters, which is just crazy to say out loud, but that's just the nature of things until we get some sort of like salary cap on stuff.
Which is still a drop in the bucket compared to NFL rosters.
Yeah, I mean,
when college football fans get all worked up, I go, we're not. We got a long way to go before this thing looks like NFL type money.
Yeah, college football coaches are making more than NFL coaches, but NFL rosters are making more than college football rosters.
Yeah,
which kind of seems to make sense. But I mean, that's still so much money. But yeah, I think that roster money is what I think is going to be the biggest thing. So I am curious, like what Ole Miss their counter is going to be to that. Like, hey, we'll match that, and you already have your roster built here, so why leave? Like that's kind of where I'm at with all of this. Is like Lane Kiffin has built what is at Ole Miss right now. He's been building that for several years at this point. And they are on the cusp of making what are they ranked right now? Number 8, number 7?
Yep. I think they were as high as, hold on, I had all that pulled up, of course.
Number 9? I think they're number 9.
Let's see, here we go. Ole Miss.
Number 6. Yeah, they're number 6. So, I mean, you're
and on the cusp of the greatest season in Ole Miss history.
Easily. And, I mean, Texas, A&M, and Georgia are probably going to have to play each other. So one of them is going to lose and fall out of the top 5. Ohio State and Indiana are going to have to play each other eventually. One of them are going to lose and fall out of the top 5. So there is a very real world in which Ole Miss ends up at number 4 with a first-round bye in the college football playoff. And their coach is halfway out the door right now.
Yep.
According to reports. Like, that just blows my mind. I'm just like... somebody actually posted this on Twitter, and I thought it was a really great take. It was about, like, college football fans getting upset at players because players aren't loyal to programs anymore. Meanwhile, we've got coaches that are literally flying all over God's green earth 2 weeks before a rivalry game
right,
interviewing for other jobs. Like it's just crazy. It's just getting out of hand.
Yeah, you know, part of this I blame a little bit on Ole Miss, and then a big part of this I blame on Lane Kiffin, because he's done a lot of like coach speak.
Yeah.
This last week when he was asked about, I'm not talking about other jobs. Then the quote about, if another school wants your head coach, look at that as a good thing. That should be something that excites fans because it means that you're having a great season. I understand what you're saying. Here's the problem. Here in Oklahoma, we've heard this before. We've been through this.
Yep. And he's currently in USC.
He's at USC. We watched him go out there and crap down his own leg as a coach in the last Oklahoma versus Oklahoma State Bedlam game that we probably will get in a long, long time. Maybe not now. Mike Gundy's gone, so we may get that game back. It's a non-conference game in a year or two. But no, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here. And then all of a sudden leaves to go to USC. So he sounded a lot like Lincoln Riley the other day. And I know that if you're Lane Kiffin, it's impossible in this era to keep this stuff quiet. It's impossible. People are tracking flight logs.
Yeah, people are getting pretty weird about stuff.
Like you sent me that thing of what's his kid's name?
I can't remember his son's name, but yeah, he was spotted wearing LSU.
And people are like, oh, he's going to LSU. And then literally last night at 1:00 in the morning, I'm scrolling through Instagram and they're showing his son, who is a stud quarterback recruit, like a sophomore or junior or something, is on a visit at LSU. So here LSU fans are making this huge deal out of his son who's wearing Beats LSU headphones. And I'm like, he got him on his visit as a recruit to LSU.
Hey, that screenshot came from our boys over at Tingle & Co. So they may know a little bit of something.
I get it. But hey, when you're a high school recruit, anything that a school gives you that's recruiting you, you're going to sport it. It's cool.
Oh, yeah.
It's fun. You're like, hey, this is cool. Show your boys I got this pullover, these headphones. That's awesome. Yeah.
The number one and number 2 wide receiver in this year's class are both going to Ohio State, and they play on the same team. Mater Dei, I think, is where they're at, and they were both wearing like Ohio State gloves, headphones, and pullovers last night during warm-ups. So I'm like, yeah, sport it, like show it off. Like, do you realize they're like you are one of about 2.7% of high school football players right now?
And listen, they could be committed to Ohio State, take a visit at like Texas, and show up the next game in Texas gear. And that means nothing. It just means it's cool and it's fun, and they're having a.
Ohio State fans would have a meltdown if something 100%. Like that were to happen, though. But yeah, no, it is. The whole Lane Kiffin thing has just gotten like so weird, so like it's honestly it's annoying. And I mean, I've been honest. I've been open about how I feel about Lane Kiffin. I think he does way more talking than coaching, and I think he needs to fix that. And if he ends up at a place like LSU, it's only going to get worse. Yeah. And I still, even with all of this stuff that has come out, I still hold to, I think Lane Kiffin is going to still be at Ole Miss next year.
Yeah, I mean, and people don't want to hear this, but if you're Ole Miss, you owe him more money. I know that's crazy.
Absolutely.
So this could just be, he's got a really good agent that's like, hey, we're going to play this a little bit because you are owed more money, or it could be the opposite. It could be the other part of it where he's like, I need more money committed to the roster next year.
And if he was smart, that's what he would say. Because I think, we've talked about this. We've talked about the head coaching carousel because this is the craziest head coach season that we've seen in a very long time. Like, it's probably better to just spend the money on your roster as opposed to the head coach, because the head coach is only going to be able to do so much anymore.
Yeah, and we haven't really had it yet, but guys like Lane Kiffin, if he wanted to get out there on the free market and like endorsement deal wise, he could make a lot of money. He's polarizing coach.
Yeah, very marketable.
Yeah, he's got a good look to him, very stylish guy. Like, if he wanted to sign a deal with Ray-Ban, like, if he really wants more money, he could go out and get more money. But I think he's probably looking at the landscape of college football and saying, hey, here I am looking at LSU, NFL caliber facilities, better than, I would say I could name maybe 5 NFL teams that have better facilities than LSU does from a like strength and conditioning, all that stuff. But he's really looking at it going, hey, they're willing to spend. Look what they just paid Brian Kelly to get him out of there, and they're willing to commit money to the roster. Hey, Ole Miss, I need you guys to do the same thing. And that could be all this is. And if he stays at Ole Miss, oh, man.
Ole Miss could be – we might need to be having a conversation about them next season, like preseason number 1. I mean, Trinidad Chambliss is going to be back. Like, that Rebels team next season specifically, I don't think they're ready for it this year. But I think next year, if Lane Kiffin stays in that team and that roster doesn't get blown up, like that Ole Miss team could be a real threat in college football.
I 100% agree. So apparently he's got to have something figured out after next Saturday.
The Egg Bowl next week.
Now he's publicly denied that like there's been ultimatums made. And then yesterday it was being reported by so many people that I trust that I was like, nah, there's been an ultimatum made. Like, so that's fine.
Yeah. And good for them. They have a bye week this week, so.
Yeah. Speaking about the financial state of college football, some really, really, really upset fans here in Oklahoma this week. Not all of them are upset. I don't want to say that. Not all the fans are upset. But Oklahoma unveiled the new Palace Project renovation for Memorial Stadium.
That is so crazy.
I'm not going to say anything negative about this at all in any form.
I read somewhere that it's going to take about 7,000 seats away.
Yes, we will lose 7,000 seats.
That is my issue with an upgrade like this, because there's like a certain feel and I don't je ne sais quoi that you have to have as in a stadium when you're in the SEC or the Big Ten. Like we're talking 90,000 people, 100,000 people. Like that's where you need to be going. You can't be going backwards. I think the renovations will look great, and they could do some, architectural work, design work that makes it to where the sound stays in the stadium even better. So it sounds louder with 7,000 fewer fans. But it's easier to make your stadium louder by just having more people in it. Like, this is not rocket science. So I think it's crazy that they are going to lose seats. But
yeah, I mean, because of course, I hate being the guy that's in regular fans' phone that they call or text. That like they're like, what do you know?
Oh yeah,
I don't like that, but I am. I get quoted sometimes without my name being used on. I talk to somebody that knows. This is not the last stadium upgrade Oklahoma is going to have. In fact, when you look at the picture, especially the one at the bottom, you can clearly tell they just don't want to announce like a $2 billion renovation.
Yeah.
They're doing this thing in chunks. They're going to bowl it in. They're going to add another level at some point, whether it's in one of the end zones. But I told an OU fan this yesterday. I said, you can't have your cake and eat it too when we're talking about that we need more money for roster to sink into it. You're going to have to figure out a way to get more money.
Yeah.
This is how you get more money. A lot of college football stadiums are going to some of the more luxury options that you find at NFL stadiums. They're all doing this. You need the 4,000 club seats. You need the upgraded press box. You need it because those donors are going to pay big money for those seats. You're going to make a lot more money off those seats. There's a lot of people that have season tickets in that part of the stadium. They're going to be upset because they're going to be asked to either have, more money for those tickets or to move them somewhere in the stadium. This will die down. There's a lot of teams, when we moved to the SEC requires the student section to be in a certain spot in each stadium. And that was not the spot that Oklahoma student section was in for years and years and years. And when they had to move that student section, those season ticket holders got upset then. I don't know what you want us to do. That's what I like. And I'm not saying as a representative of Oklahoma. I'm not talking like as somebody that's talking for the athletic department or the administration in any way, shape, or form. I'm just saying, what do you want them to do? You want the program to generate more money. Because that's what I told the fan. I said, would you rather this or would you rather wake up tomorrow and it's Oklahoma Hobby Lobby Memorial Stadium? Because that's where we're headed.
Yikes.
Stadium naming rights. We're headed to stadium naming rights at some point in college football. Some teams already have it.
Yeah. Which is already out of control in the NFL and the NBA. Yeah.
Like, I don't want to, trying to think what's the other big company. Sonic's not locally owned anymore. Loves Devon Energy. Do you want Oklahoma Memorial Devon Energy Stadium? No? Cool. Well, then this is the option. We put that off another 10, 15 years by doing things like this that create more dollars for the program. So, if you're an Oklahoma fan, just relax. Life is not that hard.
Yeah. I think the only mistake that's being made, like I said, is just like the loss of those 7,000 seats.
Yeah. And they're
like, from a fan's perspective, like someone who, would enjoys going to games and sitting in a stadium and watching and being a part of like, the crowd pops, all that kind of stuff. Like, there's gonna be 7,000 fewer of you,
and it's a lot of blue collar fans.
We're talking about Norman, Oklahoma.
Yeah,
like this isn't like high rise office building type, fan base. This is get your hands dirty, real working class people, and I talk about that all the time. Like, Super Bowl tickets are way overpriced. College football national championship tickets are way overpriced. It's slowly like in football. I think everyone could agree on that. Football is a blue collar sport. Like this ain't.
It's not basketball.
Yeah, this ain't like. We're not asking people to drop $60 million. Or that obviously is way too much, but like $1 million on like a courtside ticket. Like, that's not what football's ever been about. Football has been about, it's a set one game a week. You work all week. You just want to go root for your team. But now it's like you can't afford it. You don't have enough. You don't have enough money left at the end of the week.
And it's it can be done. The Cowboys for everything that Jerry Jones is, they have $15 standing room tickets, and they're great seats. They're fantastic. Brittany and I have used them. But that stadium was also built like it's not like a lot of college football stuff. The thing with most college football stadiums is they're some of them are hundreds of years old.
Yeah.
And they've been added on to, and you're constantly doing renovations to them. So it'll eventually get there, but the growing pains till then kind of suck, and I agree. And
yeah,
I'm sorry. But I will say this, for people that act like, I heard somebody who was like, well, tickets won't be affordable. And I wanted to be like, first of all, unless it was Kansas coming to town, Oklahoma tickets are not haven't been affordable for a while.
Already. Yeah.
Like $70 doesn't get you a decent seat in that place. I've spent way more money than I should. So that part of it is a little bit of revisionist history. All right. Brand new segment. Strez and street signs.
That is an out of hand graphic, man. I should not have sent you that.
It's so good. Hold on.
Oh, where'd we go?
There we go. Strez and street signs. So here's how it's going to work. It's a brand new segment. We're going to give Strez 4 teams ranked in the college football playoff, and we're going to ask a question. Yield, stop, or go for these college football playoff contenders. And you can give us your reasoning why. First up, Texas Tech. Are they a college football playoff contender? Yes. But as far as a national championship contender, yield, stop, or go for the Texas Tech Red Raiders?
Go. Full go. That team is the real deal. I mean, we're talking about a college football team that is built on having a defense that doesn't really let the opposing team score. And they're playing in a conference that has been known for not having defense, not playing any defense, and just putting up 40, 50, 60 points a game.
Agreed.
So, I mean, we talked about this. You know, they have maybe one of the best defensive, probably one of the 3 best defensive players in the country, and Jacob Rodriguez, their inside linebacker, should absolutely be getting Heisman considerations. He should be invited to New York City when it's time for the Heisman ceremony. The kid has like 97 tackles. He's got a couple sacks. He's got 7 forced fumbles, 4 interceptions. They put him in on offense last week. He got into the end zone based on like a wildcat direct snap. Like, Texas Tech is doing awesome stuff this season. And I mean, offensively, they're like Morton, their quarterback, is playing really, really good football. Their running back, Cameron Dickey, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Really fun to watch. And they've got guys all over the field that can make plays. And so I think, you know, depending on where they land, which I would say it's probably going to be top 4. They'll probably get a first round bye. Depending on how the bracket falls, I think they could have a very good shot at making a very deep run. And I said, we posted a video about this a week ago, 2 weeks ago. I said, I'm calling my shot. Texas Tech makes it to the semifinals of the college football playoff this year. So there, and you get that deep, anything can happen. You know, anything can happen. Penn State, they were a play away from beating Notre Dame last year. Texas, I mean, had it not been for that Jack Sawyer strip sack fumble recovery for a touchdown last year in the Ohio State-Texas game, like, Texas very well could have won that football game. So anything can happen when you get to the semis in this new 12-team format. So I'm all in on Texas Tech this season. I think they are a go.
All right, Indiana.
How many of their fans do you think are watching right now?
Let's hope not very many.
Yield. It's a yield sign. I think that Indiana and the expectations around the Hoosiers this season are absolutely warranted. They have been playing spectacular lights out football on both sides of the ball this season. But the reason why I am asking for there to be some caution around this football team in particular is because when they have played teams with a pulse, they have struggled. Like, badly. You know, like that Penn State game, it took a circus catch in the back of the end zone for them to pull that one out after having to make that comeback. So I hesitate to be, you know, all in on this Indiana team, you know, because, like, I mean, they went out and just completely dispatched Illinois in week 4, week 5. Then they go out and beat Iowa by 5, beat Oregon by 10. We really don't know how good Oregon even is this season. They might be a top 10 team. We'll find out later this afternoon. They only beat them by 10. Granted, that game was in Eugene. And then they go out and survive Penn State, who just fired their head coach 2 months ago.
And is playing a backup quarterback.
Yeah. And so I get the hype. Like, I understand the hype. Like, Kurt Cignetti, they've lost 2 games since he has joined as the head coach of the Indiana Hoosiers. Like, there is absolutely warranted excitement around this team. But I say yield because when you get in the college football playoff, you're not playing the same teams that you've been playing. You're not playing Iowa. You're not playing a beat-up Penn State in the college football playoffs. You're going to be playing teams like Oklahoma, who could very much slow down Fernando Mendoza. You're going to be playing teams like maybe USC, who will be able to keep up with you offensively. So there are just some things where I'm just like, they could do it, but we'll find out in 2 weeks when I'm in Jamaica, baby.
There you go. Texas A&M.
I'm putting up a stop sign on Texas A&M today. I think when you look at the way that their schedule has fallen, they have only beaten teams that are at the bottom half of the SEC this year. They haven't played or beaten a team that's in the top half of the SEC this year. And, I mean, you play your schedule, right? Like, Ohio State is kind of in the same bag, but Ohio State also has that week 1 win against Texas. They've got a win against Illinois. They've won the games that they've played in pretty handily. And then after last week, when they had to come back from being down by, 30 points against South Carolina, that one really made me start to question things about this Texas A&M team. And I love Marcel Reed. I think what Mike Elko's got going on there at Texas A&M is great. Like, they defeated the 8-4 allegations this year 2 weeks ago. So, like, I very much think that Texas A&M is a very good football team, but we are about to find out just how good of a football team they are next week, and if they make it into this SEC championship game, and then if they stay in the top 12 and make it into the college football playoff. I don't know that I see it. I'm not saying they're frauds, but I'm putting a stop sign up here because I don't know that Texas A&M is actually a national championship contender.
USC, the University of Southern California.
I'm going stop sign on this one too. I think USC is almost there. I think Lincoln Riley's almost got them there. And I think that they're going to shock some people today. We'll talk about that more here when we make our picks for this afternoon. USC is not a national championship contender right now. And I don't think that that's a controversial thing to say. In his time at USC, Lincoln Riley hasn't beaten a top 10 team. He's 0-3 against top 10 opponents while he's at USC. So until USC can prove to me that they're beating a top 10 team, there's no chance in the world that I say that they can win the national championship, because all of the people playing for the national championship at the end of the season are basically top 10 teams. So USC is the stop sign for me as well. There is not a chance for USC to win the national championship this year.
All right, there it is. Brand new segment, Streza Street Signs. Let us know what you think. We'll pick another handful of teams next week. And some of these teams today could be it. This could be
elimination week.
This could be elimination week for some teams. All right, before we get into picking some games, big shout out to everybody that's tuned in. If you could do me a huge favor in the comments, let us know where you're watching from. We just kind of are curious, and then also make sure that you hit the subscribe button wherever you're watching, whether you're over on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. We would appreciate it very, very much. But while you're at it, go download Better, BETR, the Better app, the first real micro play app. So instead of waiting for the whole game, you can lock in and play on every drive, every pitch, every moment. No messy menus, just swipe, make your pick, and you're in. Live it, play it, better it. Download Better, BETR now, and use code WASHED to get a special first deposit match. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that happens on when you use code WASHED at Better. And listen, full disclosure, this helps support the show. Being very honest, like, this isn't one of those, like, we are we want to be able to expand content. We want to be able to do some really cool things. We want to be able to do some road trips next year and get out on the road to some college football games. And companies like Better that partner with us allow us to do that. So do me a favor and download the Better app and use code WASHED, WASHED. From Tallahassee, Florida on YouTube, Christopher, shout out. Thank you so much for checking it from Tallahassee, Florida.
Man, it's cold and wet here in Kansas City. Let us know in the comments, Christopher. What's the weather like down there in Tallahassee?
Yeah, let us look vicariously through you, Tallahassee.
Yeah. And again, of course, I'm still drinking my iced coffee. Of course, via good old 7 Brew. 7 Brew, if you're watching.
There's going to be one literally 3 minutes down the street from me that Brittany and I drive by every time we can. Just go, hey, they got this done. Like, we just camp. I may camp out. I don't know if they do like a Chick-fil-A thing. Like,
when they open up, the day they open up, they call it Swag Day. And I think you're able to like purchase like sweatshirts or T-shirts or something.
Oh, well, then I will do it.
Yeah,
I will do it. All right, let's pick some football game. Oh, we got another comment. Sunny in Tallahassee. Of course it is.
Of course it is. It's the Sunshine State.
Shout out Tallahassee, Florida. All right, let's pick some football games. Number 22, Missouri at number 8, Oklahoma. We put a video out about this early last week. Something in the national conversation changed about Oklahoma in that Alabama game. Something in the national conversation has changed.
100%.
This is the first time since Brent Venables has gotten Oklahoma that I have heard national media members come out and say, hey, we were wrong. Brent Venables is the guy, because if they can win, in fact, somebody compared him to the Philadelphia Eagles. They're a little boring to watch on offense right now, but they just win. And if that becomes the baseline for Oklahoma football, they just win. The defense comes up with the turnovers. They pressure the quarterback. They put enough offense together. As Mateer gets healthier, as the offensive line begins to gel a little bit more, the things could get really interesting if you have to play Oklahoma and they become the team in the SEC that you go in and you're going to have to win a dirty, beat 'em up football game. That's a hard that Iowa was that way for the Big Ten for a long, long time.
They're still that way.
You go in there, man. We're going to get beat up. We're going to have injuries. This team is going to punch everybody in the mouth. It's not going to be pretty. It's a great change from what Oklahoma has been the last decade, which was, for all intents and purposes, the prettiest football you could watch in the country. Where you would turn that thing on and go, my God, they've thrown for 300 yards in the first half.
Yeah.
What in the world? Now they're going to throw for 275. They're going to run for 125. And then you look at the turnover differential and you go, this is wild. They're picking, forced fumbles, special teams plays. I don't know that Missouri's got enough fight in them for this game. I don't know that Missouri is ready for what this type of atmosphere will be after Oklahoma's coming off of that win against Alabama. Oklahoma fans are going to be loud today at 11 o'clock.
They've probably already been drinking for 2 hours.
I can. Yep. I texted this morning at Halpax Campus Corner. It was 7:30.
Oh my God!
And she said, "Already packed. We've had our tents out." Which everybody puts their tents out on Campus Corner for all your vendors. They were out. They had theirs out at like 6 a.m. this morning. So
man, shout out to them.
Yeah, they're already rip roaring and ready to go. I'm picking Oklahoma. I think this is a what I'm going to call a gel game. I think this is a game where a lot of things start to gel on offense. I think the defense comes out really, really early. And if they could slow down Missouri's running game, which I think they have, the second best running back in the entire country?
Yeah, Ahmad Hardy, truth.
Yeah. So if you could slow him down and just make him work, you're probably not going to stop him, but slow him down, make him work, and this turns into a really ugly football game. It's cold and wet today. That the offenses do not like playing in cold and wet weather. It's not fun.
Nope. Can't confirm.
Defensive guys, they're serial killers anyway. They don't care. The only thing I will say, second game in a row, R. Mason Thomas, guy who's quickly becoming the NFL scouts' favorite pass rusher in the entire country. He is out this game. That didn't seem to matter. He was out last game, so I'm picking Oklahoma by 7.
I like that. Taking OU to cover. I kind of like the comparison to Philadelphia, but I actually see more Denver Broncos in this OU team. You know, the Broncos, despite having an offense that has consistently sputtered out, and obviously you can see behind me, I'm a massive Denver Broncos fan. When I watch John Mateer play, he's got a lot of Bo Nix in him. There's a lot of that gamer. I'm going to go out and I'm going to be a better athlete than the person across the line of scrimmage from me. And he makes things happen, and some of it might drive you crazy, but some of it's going to be like, that was awesome. And their defense is going to come up at the right time, make the right play, get the stop that they need to get. Their offense is going to do just enough to get down the field, kick the field goal. OU, their kicker is probably one of the better kickers in the country. Yeah. Weirdest pants in the country, but one of the better legs in college football. So yeah, I like Oklahoma to win this game. I think you mentioned it. You know, slow down the run game. I think what they need to do is just make Bo Pribula beat them.
Yeah,
make that quarterback be the one. If you're going to lose, it needs to be because that quarterback just beat you today. Like, that needs to be the reason. Like, you need to just completely take the game away from Ahmad Hardy. He is their life source on that offense. So take him completely out of the game. Make Bo Pribula beat you. And I just don't see that happening, especially with that OU pass rush. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Sooners in this one. I'm actually gonna take the Sooners by double digits.
Yeah, it's a great point. I think if you're Oklahoma, I think if you're Missouri, what you're going to see a lot of is on third and 6, 3rd and 7. You're going to see Oklahoma keep everything in front of them and make that quarterback make the right play.
Yep.
And if he can't early, I would look in the second half for Brent to ratchet up the pressure packages. And try to create some more turnovers. But I think at the very beginning of the game, you're going to see them do a lot where they're going to say, "Hey, better buckle that chin strap up," because you're going to have to make the perfect read and the perfect pass, or you're going to get yourself in 3rd and long situations all day long. So
100%.
Missouri by 7, says Chris. It could be a really weird game. I'm not picking it like I would go put money on it, but. Kentucky at number 14, Vanderbilt. I'm going to keep doing it every week. I'm picking Kentucky to win one of these weird games. They're due. They're due to have a Kentucky game. I'm taking Kentucky in the upset at number 14, Vanderbilt. I think Vanderbilt has had a unbelievable season from Vanderbilt standards. I think Diego Pavia is a gamer. I think he's a Johnny Manziel. I think he raises the entire level of play when he's on the field. I think his energy is infectious. I think both sides of the ball feed off of it. But they're facing a guy that has been coaching football in the SEC for a long time, the most tenured head coach in the Southeastern Conference in Mark Stoops, who, again, could be coaching for his job. Maybe not if Lane Kiffin stays at Ole Miss, and now there are teams that are scraping the barrel to try to put, coaches.
It probably is this is the year that you might want to hang on to your coach.
Where everybody's zigging, you might zag this year.
Like Wisconsin, I know Luke Fickell's not the guy, but Wisconsin made the decision, hey, we're going to bring him back for 26, and it's like, we know why. Yeah, you're not going to be able to get a coach that you want because of the other schools that have openings.
Yeah, Missouri, LSU, Arkansas come open. You go, maybe this year we hang on to our coach.
Yeah, you just kind of cut your losses, and maybe something else comes around, the following year.
Yeah, so I'm taking Kentucky in an upset by a field goal.
I actually really like that pick. I think, I think Kentucky is better than their record shows. And I don't know if it's by much, but I mean, they have played some really tough teams really closely. I mean, they played Georgia closer than Texas did.
Yep.
And there's conversation about Texas. Well, should they get into the college football playoff? They've only lost to Texas or Ohio State and Georgia, and I forget who they're. Florida. Yeah.
Well, they lost that Kentucky game. It's just the score doesn't show it.
Yeah, you lose to Florida, you're out of the college football playoff, in my opinion. But so Kentucky is, they've been playing some teams really closely, and I think out of all of the teams that Kentucky has like really lost to this year, I would say, and I've been pretty honest about this. I don't think that number 14 belongs next to Vanderbilt's name. I don't think Vanderbilt's a top 20 team. I don't know that Vanderbilt's actually even a top 25 team. But you're right. Diego Pavia hides a lot of, ugliness that might exist in that Vanderbilt offense. But if he is off, it's going to be a long day for Vandy. So this one is in Nashville. I think I'm going to look for Kentucky to play a close one, but I think that Vanderbilt probably wins this one by 1 to 3 points.
Biggest game of the day, a college football playoff eliminator, probably. If not an eliminator, your first round matchup's going to really suck. Number 15 USC at number 7 Oregon, going to Eugene. This is a tough game to pick because we got a team, like we said in the first hour, in Oregon that's just not quite as good as they were last year.
Still good.
Still great.
Not number 1 in the country for a majority of the season. Good.
And I was telling people this at the beginning of the year. Dylan Gabriel, and it may take another 10 years for us to look back at it, but Dylan Gabriel will probably be on lists of most underrated quarterbacks of the last 25 years. He played so much college football that he could really do things for you as an offense, especially early in the year, that would let you as an offense be able to, hey, we're not good here, but we can get good here.
Yeah.
But we got a guy who's been playing quarterback for a long, long time. He did it at Oklahoma. He did it at Oregon. When he left, I knew there'd be a little bit of a drop-off, and so obviously that's what we're dealing with. USC, on the other hand, has got a young quarterback that has gotten better consistently as the season has gone along. And look out, Sally, USC actually plays defense.
Yeah.
First
time since the Pete Carroll era, really.
Yeah. I mean, it's not, they're not like take on the world good on defense.
No.
But
top 50 though.
That's all that anyone is. That is what, for anybody that's like, that means nothing. Everyone always said the same thing about Lincoln Riley. If he could get a defense that was just top 50 in the country, he could probably win a national championship because he's still the most innovative offensive mind in the sport.
100%.
I don't care. You talk about Jeff Lebby, you talk about Lane Kiffin, you talk about whoever you want to. Nobody calls a game better from an offensive perspective than Lincoln Riley does. And now he's got a little bit of a defense. That being said, I'm taking Oregon in this one. I think I think what Eugene, Oregon has, it's not a giant football stadium, but man, it is every list I see of rowdiest home atmospheres, somehow Oregon is on that list.
Yeah. It's a tough place to play.
And their weather's weird. Like, you could go in and it's sunny, you could go in and it's rainy.
Yeah. I would assume it's probably going to be a little cold today. I'm looking at their Gamecast piece right now, and the AccuWeather on the ESPN app is saying 46 degrees and cloudy at kickoff.
Yeah, that ain't fun. That ain't Southern California weather.
That is not USC weather at all.
So Christopher says Oregon only lost in Indiana. We're not saying that this eliminates Oregon, but what I'm saying is when you look at Oregon's schedule, if they lose the USC, they just don't have enough great wins on their schedule.
They will do anything they can to downplay a Big Ten schedule. Even if that loss to Indiana, who is the number 2 team in the country, was by 10 points. And if somehow this game against USC, if they lose this one, is like a 3-point game, they're going to say, oh, well, they lost to the only ranked teams that they played against.
Yeah.
That's what they'll say. And that's why they would drop Oregon down to number 12, and Oregon would be the first team out because of the top ranked, top 5 ranked conference champions getting in. And they would probably drop out because of that.
And it doesn't help that that bottom, not the bottom of, but that middle bottom, Illinois, stuff like that, that some of those teams have been so up and down in the Big Ten. Like, Illinois looks like a world beater. Then they go out and just get curb stomped by somebody. Then the next week they play great. Then the next week they're not playing so great. So, yeah, Oregon needs this one really, really badly. I think USC, if you're Lincoln Riley, I don't think you expected to be this good this year. I think I think next year for USC is a really good year for them. So anything this year is probably gravy. And then you got one team that if you're Dan Lanning, you need this one so bad to be able to keep yourself in the college football playoff contention. So I'm taking Oregon.
Yeah, and if there's a coach that's going to be able to get their team up and ready to go, it's going to be
100%.
William Jewell College alum Dan Lanning, former WJC Cardinals football player. Shout out. We have that in common. So yeah, I mean, I think this is going to be a really fun game. I'm hoping. I'm definitely going to have this game on after my Buckeyes are done beating Rutgers by 60. I don't even know what the score is going to be in the Buckeyes-Rutgers game today. But
as many as Ohio State wants to score.
I mean, Carnell Tate and Jeremiah Smith both aren't playing today, so it'll be interesting to see what what they do on offense. But yeah, I think you said it, like Jaden Mayava has been playing some really good ball. I don't know that Lane Kiffin was prepared for them to be as good as they are this season. I talked about this last week. I really like King Miller.
Yeah.
USC's running back. And I think Mekhi Lemon is probably one of the 5 best wide receivers in the country right now. USC's, if there's a team that's going to be out there that's going to be able to beat Oregon, it's going to be USC. And, we talked about it earlier on when we were doing the street signs segment. Lincoln Riley hasn't beaten a top 10 team since he's been at USC.
Nope.
So he is still looking for that top 10 win with the Trojans. And I very much think that today could be that day. I think USC is a lot better than I think a lot of people are giving them credit for. And I don't know that Oregon is quite as good as people think they are. I think Dante Miller's a good quarterback. I don't know how he's gonna be able to do. I mean, we saw the last time they got into a little bit of a slugfest with Indiana. Dante Miller, struggled a little bit in that game. So I'm actually going to take the upset here. I think I'm going to take USC to win this one. Last second field goal. Let's call it that. Last second field goal. They win by 1, 2, or 3 points.
Arkansas at number 17, Texas. Texas, I think their season's done already. I look at it as who's going to give them the next loss. The answer could be Arkansas. Arkansas's got one of the most talented quarterbacks in the Southeastern Conference. Now, we are asking him to do a lot as a young quarterback to go into Austin. Darrell K. Royal, 230 kick. But if we have seen Arch play bad at home for like stretches of the game, and I'm going to keep going back to it. The problem is we saw it against people like UTSA, where he didn't play great the entire game.
UTEP,
and what was the other? Sam Houston or whatever.
Yeah, they took care of business against Sam Houston. That was the game where he ran over that player and flexed on him in the end zone. So I don't know that I don't think anybody trusts Texas. I don't think they should be at number 17. I do not understand why we're keeping them that high. The only really good win that they have
on their record. I think if Oklahoma has a halfway healthy quarterback that hadn't just had hand surgery, they probably lose that game against Oklahoma. So,
yeah, overtime win at Kentucky, overtime win at Mississippi State.
Yeah, I mean they've had a problem with good quarterbacks, good offenses. Arkansas has a good quarterback, good offense. It's going to come down to if Arkansas defense can show up, because they haven't really.
Yeah, I'm gonna say no probably on that.
Yeah,
on that one.
They're probably not. If it turns into a shootout, who knows? I want to take the Hogs in this one, but I'm going to take Texas. But I wouldn't be shocked if Arkansas pulls this one out in some sort of craziness.
Yeah, I think people who aren't quite as plugged into college football as you and I are probably don't realize, like, this game, like, these schools hate each other.
Yes.
You know, and I think Arkansas might hate Texas a little bit more than Texas hates Arkansas. You know, I was born and raised in the state of Arkansas. I was raised to hate Texas. Like, more than I was raised to hate, like, LSU or Missouri, who the Hogs have rivalry games with currently. You know, I thought last week Arkansas was going to bring home the boot. I thought they were going to beat LSU last week.
Me too.
So, you know, I think this has that old school rivalry feel. Arkansas hates Texas. I don't know if the players do, but I know that the fans do. So it'll be interesting there. My heart wants to pick the Hogs, but their defense is really bad, and I think Texas, their offense has really started to click in the last few weeks. Arch Manning has started to actually look like the Arch Manning we were expecting to get this season. So, yeah, I think I'm going to take the Longhorns in this one too, begrudgingly. But yeah, I don't think Arkansas is going to be able to. I don't know that Arkansas can stop a nosebleed.
No.
So yeah, give me the Longhorns to win this one.
Speaking of almost the exact opposite, in Florida, we got a team that can stop any nosebleed, but is really struggling to be able to score enough points to beat somebody against one of the most innovative and best play callers in the SEC, and Josh Heupel. Shout out Josh Heupel, former Oklahoma national championship winning quarterback. Number 20 Tennessee at Florida. Swamp is weird at night. 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern kick. Florida's playing for nothing and everything all at the same time, and Tennessee is fighting to see if they can put enough good wins together at the end of the year to create some sort of conversation. I don't think they can, but weirder things have happened. You know, there are teams right now that only have one loss, that weird things could happen and a team could lose 2 in a row. I have no idea. Yeah. So this game means a lot for Tennessee. The Southeastern Conference is wild this year. Looking at it, I don't trust anybody but Georgia in the entire conference. Christopher just brought up a great point. Tennessee hasn't beaten Florida at Florida since 2003. Swamp is weird, man.
03? That is, yeah, the Swamp's a tough place to play, especially when Florida's got a defense like they have this season. Like, that is...
They fly
That's
around.
a tall task. That is a tall task.
What I do love is their secondary plays like wide receivers. They're not going up there to try to stop you from catching the ball. They're going up there with a plan of trying to pick.
No, yeah. They've got ball skills for sure on the back end.
So that could be really, really interesting. I think Tennessee has trouble today. I think they have trouble getting started. I think the crowd is going to be a massive part of this game. I don't know that, people say, well, Tennessee's used to playing. Your home atmosphere does not necessarily become a help when you're on we're used to playing in loud stadiums. There's two places.
Your defense is used to playing in loud stadiums. Your
not.
Offense is not.
Yeah, you don't know what it means. There's two places in the SEC that get weird after the sun goes down. One is Death Valley, and the other is the Swamp. Yep. So, I'm taking Florida in an upset today. I think it could be a weird Saturday. And I think Tennessee is playing for their entire season, and Florida is just playing. They're just a bunch of dudes playing ball today. It means nothing.
Yeah.
But if you're looking to transfer somewhere, or you're looking to show out for the next coach that comes in, you're going to try to make a point today on national television in a prime time slot. So this one could be fun. So I'm taking Florida in the upset today.
Yeah, that's a great pick. I think this is going to be a DJ Lagway game. I knew that Tennessee's defense wasn't very good. And so I actually just pulled up their rankings according to teamrankings.com/collegefootball/team/Tennessee-volunteers/stats. It's one of those websites that does a really good job of like aggregating like all of their defense and ranking it against the rest of the country. Tennessee's defense is 98th in opponents' points per game, 93rd in opponents' yards per game. They are 93rd in opponent third down conversion, 93rd in opponent fourth down conversion, 123rd in red zone scoring defense.
Yikes.
Like, Tennessee's defense is not good. Like, you go through the teams that they've played this year. Georgia dropped 44 on them. Alabama, Birmingham dropped 24 on them. Mississippi State scored 34. Arkansas scored 31. Alabama beat them by scoring 37. Kentucky scored 34 on them. Oklahoma scored 33 on them. So, like, an offense with a pulse is going to be able to score some points.
Yeah.
And the problem is, the times that they've played good defenses, they've lost. Florida has a great defense. I know Florida's record is bad. I know that they're not a good football team this year, but Florida's defense is legit. And I don't think people really realize that. Granted, their numbers might look a little skewed, but it's because their offense is so bad that their defense is on the field a lot.
A lot.
But given the fact that Tennessee's defense is as bad as they are, and DJ Lagway is still DJ Lagway, I think he still has it in him. I think the Florida offense is going to be able to have a chance to go out there and play today. And I'm looking at Tennessee's passing defense. They're 101st, 123rd in opponent completion percentage, 84th in pass yards per pass, 131st in opponents' passes per game. Granted, they always get in these shootouts. 123rd in pass yards per game, and they have a good pass rush. They're number 19 in sack percentage. So I feel like all of those things kind of lean towards, I think Florida's going to be able to slow Tennessee's offense down, and I think Tennessee's defense isn't going to be good enough to slow not a bad Florida offense down. A struggling Florida offense down. So I'm going to also take Florida to win this one, and part of that reason is because it's not at Neyland. It's in the Swamp. So, yeah, give me the Gators in this one.
All right, so there it is. Those are our picks for today. Other games around the country that don't necessarily matter in any way, shape, or form, because this is Cupcake Week 13. There are some other games, though, so we'll run through a couple of them real quick, just highlight them. Miami's got to play Virginia Tech today.
Virginia, that Virginia Tech team could be real excited going into this football game. They got their guy.
And they should be excited.
They should be excited.
You got a guy that wants to be there, who instead of just sitting on the couch and collecting buyout money, immediately went in and said, "No, I want to coach."
You think James Franklin be on the sideline today? Obviously not with a headset on, but like lanyard, Virginia Tech gear, like on the sideline, like a field pass kind of thing.
I would love it if he was just on the sideline, like just being a vibes guy.
Yeah.
Just
like rah, like let's go, like good stuff, Hokies.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun. I think it'd mean a lot for the program. I think the players really enjoy it to know that coach is plugged in already. I think some of them would want to show out.
Agreed. You want to play for a starting spot. And if he's not on the field, I feel like the in-house like camera people Need to find James Franklin and like put the camera on him as much as possible to get him on the big screen so that the crowd can go nuts and your players can see, your head coach is there watching. I think there's a way that they could do it today. I mean, Virginia Tech, you go out there and play excited.
Who knows?
It's November. Miami doesn't win games in November.
Nope. And it's in Blacksburg today.
Enter Sandman, baby. We get to see one of the best entrances in college football today.
Yeah. So shout out Virginia Tech. Syracuse at Notre Dame. Only reason I bring that game up is I think head coach at Syracuse needs to get a better job. I think he has done a fantastic job. It is hard to coach at places like Syracuse. They got high academic standards.
Yeah.
You're in New York. They don't care about college football at all. You're at a basketball school, and they're 3-7. They got to play Notre Dame, who right now is playing like a top 3 team in the country. Like
Notre Dame looks legit.
They have peaked really, really well. They had 2 rough losses at the beginning of the year because they forgot how to call plays that include their running game.
Just hand the ball to 4. It is not rocket science.
It's so easy. People are like, Aaron, what do you mean? Like, hey, I root for a team that had Adrian Peterson. You think I was like, hey, we got this guy out there. Just hand him the ball.
Yeah. When Ohio State had Zeke Elliott, you just give the ball to 15.
Yeah, you're not.
What are we doing?
You're not even sure what the play is. You just know if this guy who has the ball in his hand, good things happen.
Good things happen.
So that one could be fun.
Also, kind of feels like a stat pad game for Jeremiah Love. We're talking Heisman. These last 2 weeks are pretty important for, Heisman hopefuls. So, I just watched an interview from Urban Meyer. It was like they were playing a game kind of like Rutgers back when JT Barrett was the quarterback for the Buckeyes. And he was like, we need to pad his stat. He needs the stats. I want JT to go win the Heisman. Like, you want your coaches to do that kind of thing for you. And I feel like Marcus Freeman's like, hell yeah, we're gonna rush you. You're gonna hit 300 yards rushing tonight, 6 touchdowns.
Oklahoma did it for Kyler Murray a couple of times where you were like, we're doing a lot of design quarterback run here. It's like, well, yeah. We're gonna add
so he can win the Heisman Trophy.
Oh, we did 60, 70 extra rushing yards on this game. Another game that nationally means nothing, but I bring it up for one reason. Tulane Temple. John Summerall is one of the hottest names in college football coaching for good reason. He has got Tulane ranked number 24, and then he also came in and gave them one of the most fire answers in a press conference where he was like, "We might
shocking
be the worst team," and like,
yeah, that was I couldn't believe he said that. I mean, but I get it. His players are like, "Yeah, we're at Tulane."
Yeah,
like if you're ever in New Orleans, you're probably going to go to Cafe Du Monde and eat a snowball before you go watch a Tulane football game.
Yeah, I mean, he gets where he's at. He understands it. He's put an unbelievable year together. Took his name out of the running for the Florida job, which I think is one of the most baller moves to just go, I don't want any part of the craziness that is happening there.
Yeah.
I don't know if he wants to leave Tulane right now. I have no idea. He was at Troy for only 1 year. So, but if Tulane goes out and ends the season in the top 25, there are going to be teams willing to write very big checks to get him. And I think Arkansas should be that school. Now, if they're interviewing Dabo Swinney, would be one of the Arkansas moves in the world to
not making the correct decision. It just is a head scratcher.
So, but yeah, shout out to Tulane. John Summerall, one of the best coaches in the country, doing a fantastic job at a place that doesn't have a whole lot going for it.
Yeah.
Kansas State at Utah. Kansas State is terrible. They're a horrible football team.
A lot worse than I thought they were going to be this year.
Me too. I don't think I talked about them in like top 5 in the Big 12, but they're 5-5. They have had an incredibly disappointing season. Utah sitting at 8-2 at number 12, trying to figure out a way into the college football playoff. I could see Utah turning that thing into a track meet and trying to score as many points as humanly possible. so they can go, hey, look how bad we're beating up on these bad teams. Pitt at Virginia Tech. Pitt coming off a really tough loss. That I don't know. I think we talked ourselves into that Pitt Notre Dame was going to be a better game. I think nationally, everyone was like, Pitt Notre Dame, this is going to be a great game.
Yeah.
And then by like the second quarter, you were like, they're not going to be able to keep up.
Yeah, Notre Dame is just too good.
Pitt was in the top 25 last week. They've dropped out. And now they got to play number 16, Georgia Tech. 6 o'clock Central kick at Georgia Tech. So you got 7-3 Pitt taking on 9-1 Georgia Tech. Georgia Tech clearly in the driver's seat for the ACC conference.
Yeah, Haynes King. Watch. If you haven't watched the Georgia Tech game, turn it on tonight and watch Haynes King play some football.
Christopher going out on a limb here.
I like it.
Pittsburgh by 14. Georgia Tech defense is not good, and he is true. Their defense is not great.
I actually had a thought too that Pitt could win this football game because, again, it's the ACC.
Anything good.
No one wants to win it.
Nobody. They're all trying to. What bad team can
It's shocking, but yeah, a game that I actually might turn on later this evening is the North Texas Rice game just to watch Drew Mestemaker.
Hey, he's gonna be playing somewhere next year, big time.
Arkansas.
Somebody.
He needs to follow his head coach and go to Arkansas. I think Arkansas needs to pull trigger and just do that. Yeah, he's completing 69% of his passes. Nice. For 3,000 yards. He's got 23 touchdowns to 4 interceptions. This kid didn't start a game at quarterback in high school.
No. He played backup in high school.
And he's throwing for 3,000 yards as a true freshman at North Texas.
His completion percentage is a little bit deceptive because they go for the long ball a lot.
Yeah, like the nerd stat, average depth of target is like way far.
Yeah, so his people are like, 69% completion percentage. That's because they're not doing the like bubble screen stuff. Like they take shots downfield, and so that's going to lower your completion percentage a little bit. But he is really a lot of fun to watch. Speaking of another game that could be really fun, 9-1 BYU sits at 11. They're playing Cincinnati 7-3.
Yeah.
BYU is really trying to finish the season out and see if they can sneak their way into the Big 12 championship.
Won't matter.
Yeah.
Texas Tech will wipe the floor with them again.
It's not going to matter. I did like that a couple of weeks ago. The Utah BYU thing, the fact that we got like two teams in Salt Lake that are like right there butted up against each other in the polls is making it the Big 12 really, really fun. But yeah, when BYU played Texas Tech,
it was
over at like the beginning of the game. You were like, this is going to be.
It's because their quarterback wears 47. What are we doing?
But BYU can put up points. They put up 44 against TCU. They put up 41 on Iowa State. They put up 33 on Arizona.
Yeah, and Texas Tech, that's a top 3 defense in the country. We've already talked about that, so it's hard to score points against a team like that. But
that one, it's just going to be a fun one. Cincinnati woke up and started playing football a couple of years ago. Now that they're in the Big 12, it's probably a little bit easier to get recruits on the football side.
Agreed.
So that one could be fun. I'm calling this one my beat-up game of the year. Number 25, Arizona State at Colorado. 7-3, Arizona State. 3-7, Colorado. Look for Arizona to score 50 today.
Yeah, Colorado is not good.
How does a team get so bad? Like, we went from Deion is going to save Colorado football to Colorado is exactly who they were before Deion showed up.
Well, they're not. They're better than who they were before Deion got there because they were the worst team in college football. And now they're not the worst team in college football. Yeah, I don't know, man. I talked a lot with David from David Talks Buffs about it for a while earlier this week, and it's just like Coach Prime just still hasn't figured out the recruiting of it all, which is crazy because I think in my brain, if I was a college football player, Yeah, Boulder is awesome. Yeah, I want to go play with Coach Prime. Lil Wayne literally helps, like, walks out of the locker room with them. Absolutely, sign me up for that.
And can I say something that's going to be a little bit like an old man on a park bench? There's too many people on the sideline in Colorado.
Yeah, Colorado does, and like 17 of them have cameras. It is a little out of hand.
Like, there are NFL teams that don't let that many people on the sideline.
Yeah, NFL sidelines are empty compared to what CU's sideline looks like.
Yeah, I mean, you're like, oh, so look at so-and-so there today, and so-and-so there today, and this influencer, and you got 2 cameras following Dion around for his social media, all this. Man, I get the game. I understand it. I've worked in social media for a decade now. I get it. I understand media, not just social media, but the regular media side of it. I understand it. I promise I'm not just like speaking out of pocket here. But sometimes you got to like look at the season you're having and go, okay, we got to buckle up here. Like,
yeah.
Hey, get off the sideline. Yo, so-and-so, I appreciate you showing up. Means a lot. Like, we'll get you a good club seat, whatever. But like, I look on the sideline at Colorado the other night and I was like, why is there so many people? And then there's been what seems like miscommunication on the sideline between coaches and some time clock situations that are really weird. And I'm not against what Dion's done in bringing in former NFL players who have zero coaching experience to come in and coach positions.
No, we love that.
Yeah, I love it. But you gotta have a Jim Knowles on the sideline if you're going to do that.
Yeah, you need like a college football grandpa.
Yeah, you need an old guy that can come in. Lincoln had it his first year. I can't remember his name, but he had coached. Who's the Pirates?
ECU.
Yeah, ECU. He brought in a guy that coached at ECU forever. When you don't, and I'm not saying you're saying Dion isn't a tenured head coach. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying when I look on that sideline, there's a lot of confusion in like third down situations or into the half situations, time clock things. You need to have somebody out there that is on that sideline that can be in Dion's ear, that can lower the temperature of the room, can hey, take a breath. Here's what we need to do right here. And they don't have that.
Yeah.
And it becomes very evident. It's kind of the sideline's just too animated. That's probably the best way of saying it.
Yeah, it's too much. It's like overdone.
Yeah, I mean, and I get it. You got a documentary series that you do. I understand all that. I don't. But we were just talking about it for NFL the other night. The worst thing that happened to a lot of NFL teams when they start deciding to do hard knocks during the season.
Yeah, the mid-season hard knocks is something else.
It's a distraction to teams. It just is.
Yeah.
So, Colorado needs to get that thing.
And Folsom is an awesome atmosphere.
Oh, yeah.
When Ralphie runs, like, that's one of the coolest things in college football. And they got a young Ralphie now. Like, I think it's Ralphie 6, Ralphie 5. The one before this was like, I'm not running past the 30. This is going to be a quick one. It's going to be slow. But the Ralphie they've got now is ready to go. And she takes off. So, like, it's a cool atmosphere. The fans love it. I know a lot of CU Buffs fans. And they love it. But yeah, I just like they deserve to see a better product on the field. And I think it's like you're saying, like the sideline is it's just too much.
Yeah,
it's too much.
All right, now next week, week 14,
rivalry week, baby.
Wild one. Really quick, we'll run through a couple of big games that everybody's going to be watching. This is a shame, but it is rivalry week, so somebody's got to play at 11 a.m. Ole Miss, Mississippi State, Friday, 11 a.m. At least they put it on a Friday, but the fact it's at 11 a.m. kind of stinks. Like, maybe most people will be off. Maybe people took off work for the entire weekend, so a lot of people will be at home. Maybe that's a big reason why. But Ole Miss, Mississippi State. Next week we'll get the Egg Bowl. Georgia Tech, Friday at 2:30.
That's gonna be a fun football game.
Yeah, sure. That one is gonna be great. Late game Friday, Texas A&M, Texas. I'm looking for Texas to just absolutely pound the living dog snot out of Texas, and no one will be more excited than Texas A&M fans to know that you're going to be able to go into Austin, and you are
11-0.
Yeah, you are a far better team by a long shot.
Dude, Texas is maybe the 4th best team in the state right now.
Yeah, you can make an argument for it.
Because Texas Tech is better than Texas. Texas A&M is better than Texas. TCU?
I mean, I don't know the Texas. The problem with Texas is that you don't know which Texas team you're getting, and that's been the issue all year. We got Indiana, Purdue, means nothing, but it is an in-state game, and it's a fun one. Arizona State, again, means nothing, but it is. We get all these on Friday, by the way. Those are all Friday games.
The Arkansas-Mizzou game has typically happened on the Friday after Thanksgiving, but they actually moved that one to Saturday this year. Must have been the 6 fights that broke out last year in that game.
Yeah, they hate each other, which is so weird. Number 1, Ohio State. Number 18, Michigan. 11 a.m. kick at the Big House.
Yep, don't talk to me.
That one could be a fun one. UCLA, USC. That one could be a fun one. We got Virginia Tech, Virginia, which usually means nothing, but Virginia is a top 25 team.
Yeah, they're playing for a potential spot.
Yeah.
You know, if they go out and take care of business, they're off this week, actually. So if they, some things happen in front of them this week, they go out and take care of business next week, there could be a chance that there's, some conversations to be had.
Yeah, Missouri, Arkansas, 2:30. One of the bigger games of the day that going into the season, I would have said means nothing, but it could mean a lot. Vanderbilt, Tennessee. That'd be if that rivalry could heat up a little bit over the next couple of years. Boy, that could be fun every year.
Oh, for sure. Nashville, Knoxville.
Oh yeah,
that's fun.
Then the big game of the day. That everyone on ESPN will be acting like is the greatest thing ever. Alabama, Auburn. It's a terrible rivalry. I'm just going to come out and say it. It's not good.
It doesn't hold a candle to the game.
I mean, it's not OU, Texas. It's not Ohio State, Michigan. If you take out the kick six and you take out Cam Newton's year, I mean, it's so lopsided, but it is a big game.
Yeah.
It means a lot to that state. Number 10, Alabama at Auburn. Rest of the games for that day aren't going to be good. Except I say that, and Northwestern, they almost won that game at Wrigley.
Yep. Michigan really squeaked that one out, didn't they?
So you got Northwestern, Illinois. You got Champaign versus Chicago. So that one could be fun. All right. That's your games for the day. If you haven't yet, make sure to follow us wherever you're watching, whether you're over on X, you're on YouTube, you're on Facebook. We appreciate you so very much. Thank you for checking us out. We will be back 8 a.m. Central next Saturday for week 14. It is rivalry week. We are getting dangerously close to the end of the college football season. Also this week we'll be breaking down on the YouTube channel. We'll be breaking down what is going on with the Lane Kiffin thing as we get closer to what apparently is supposed to be his ultimatum that he's going to have his answer if he's staying at Ole Miss in by a week from tomorrow. So I still think that's weird, but I guess that's what we're doing. Also, there's going to be some teams today that probably put themselves back into college football playoff contention, and there may be some teams that drop out. So we'll be talking about those as well. If you haven't yet, download the Better app. Big shout out to Better for being the official partner of the Waterboys College Football Pregame Show. It is the first real micro play app. So instead of waiting for the whole game, you can lock in a play on every drive, every pitch, every moment. Super simple, no messy menus. If you want to support the show, you can download the Better app, BETR, and use code WASH for a special promo. If you're going to put some stuff on a game today, or you got a player that you think's going to have a breakout, you can do all of that there, courtesy of the Better app, BETR. Anything else, Stress?
Looks like a new report has dropped within the last 2 hours from Pete Nakos. I don't know how to say his last name, from On3. Florida, LSU, and Ole Miss are all prepared to offer at least $25 million in NIL roster investment for Lane Kiffin.
Okay.
He's got the pick of the crop.
Just stay at Ole Miss, Lane.
Yeah, honestly, just stay where you've already built.
If you're not going to go to LSU, stay. Do not get wooed by the Florida sun, please.
Yeah, don't do that, and go Bucks.
All right, we will see you. We'll be live tweeting on Twitter today. So if you haven't yet, go follow us over on X. And we will see you next week here for the Waterboys College Football Pregame Show. Have a great rest of your college football Saturday.